the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the way that I play Mick Mars' iconic solo, Red Hot. This is definitely one of the easier solos Mick Mars has laid down, but it still sounds fantastic. Basically what I've done is I've taken the studio version that you hear on the album, and I've combined that with some of the little licks and tricks that Mick has added over the years for his live performances. Anyhow, let's get into the lesson. All right, before we actually get into the lesson, just a couple things I want to mention first and foremost. You're gonna need a guitar that is tuned down a full step to D standard. Motley Crue plays pretty much everything down in D standard, so make sure you do that first, otherwise none of this is gonna sound right. Oh, and also, even though we are down a full step in D standard, I'm gonna just keep on referring to everything as if we're in standard tune. Otherwise, I'm gonna get really confused, and you're gonna get really confused. Inevitably, I'm gonna say the wrong notes, and that just won't help anybody out, okay? Another thing you're probably going to want to do is make sure you've got an amp that has quite a bit of gain, or at least a dirt pedal to push things up. There are quite a few pinch harmonics in this. Without that extra gain, you might struggle a little bit to really get them to squeal and stand out, so that'll be helpful. Also, I'm going to break this down into sections just for the ease of teaching and for learning, and yeah, that should make everything nice and streamlined. Section 1 should look and sound a little bit like this. Alright, so to start this off, what we're going to do is locate ourselves back here on the 2nd fret of your G string, and you're going to play that and bend it up a full step to that note there with a pinch harmonic. Just like that. And then you're going to release that down and pull off. Okay, so we got this so far. Alright, so after you've pulled off, what you're going to do is come back onto that 2nd fret, play that again and put some big vibrato on. Alright, so here's what we have up to that point. Okay, so after you've played that, what you're going to want to do is play the open G string, like so. Come over here to the 4th fret of your D string and play that once. Then come back to the 2nd fret of the D string and play that once. So all together up to this point, here's what we have. Okay, now once you've gotten here, all Mick is going to do is trill. Just like that. So basically all I'm doing here is I'm playing the D string open and just hammering on and off with my index finger here. Like that, okay? All right, so all up to the trill, here's what we have. So the next section will sound just like this. Alright, so to start this one off, you're going to be playing the D string open once. Come over here and grab the A string on the 3rd fret and play that once. Come down here and grab the 2nd fret of your D string once. And then I'm using my pinky here and I'm coming up and grabbing the 5th fret of that D string. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, then you're just going to kind of walk down this. You're going to be playing the D string on the 4th fret once. And then you're going to be coming down here to the 2nd fret and playing that once. So here's what we have so far. Now after you've done that, you're going to be playing the D string open once, and then doing that similar kind of hammer-on pull-off trill like we were doing in the last section. You're just going to do that kind of thing. Now live, what Mick does is while he's doing this, he takes his hand and just kind of runs up like that. You can do that if you want. The key here is just use the fleshy back part of your hand, kind of here, and just lightly graze that string as you're doing your trill and move it up slowly. Okay, so kind of like that kind of thing. Play around with this a bit, you'll get it eventually. It takes a while to find the subtlety you need to use with your right hand to kind of do that, but once you find it, super easy. Okay, so all together, up to that point, here's what we have. Alright, the next section will look and sound a little bit like this. Okay, so to do this section, all Mick is doing is he's basically going to start off by playing that open D string again, just like we did in the last section. And then he comes over here and grabs the 3rd fret on the A string, comes over here, grabs the 2nd fret on your D string, and the 5th fret on the D string. So we got this. Okay, now what Mick does is he just shifts the exact same position up a full step. So now we're starting off doing exactly what we just did, but on the 5th fret of the A string. Okay, so we've got this. Then you come up here. All right, so that's basically just 5 on the A, 4 on the D, and then 7 on the D. Okay, so all the way up to this point, here's what we got. All right, good. Now, once you've hit that note there, what Mick is going to do is basically he's going to play the D string on the 4th fret, but hammer on very quickly or slide into the 5th. Kind of like that, or like that, right? So up to that point, here's what we have. And then he comes back and he plays the 4th fret again on the D string. So we've got, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm using my pinky here and I'm grabbing right there on the 7th fret of my A string. Okay, so here's what we got up to that point. Right, just like that, and that was so good. Do that hammer on again and repeat the lick. Okay, he does that twice. So all the way now, up to that point, here's what we have. Okay, so the next section, what does that look and sound like? Just like that. Okay, so basically what Mick is doing here, what you're going to do is you're going to start off back here on the C note, or the 3rd fret of your A string. So basically that little major triad we've been doing this whole time, we're going to do that again, because if it was good the first time, and it was good the second time, you can bet your balls it's going to be good the 3rd time. All right, so what Mick does is he goes 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, and then 5 on the D. So we got this. Just like that. Now this is kind of neat. This is a little chromatic piece he does, which is really cool. He's going to take that position, which you just played once, shift that back, so now we're starting it on the 2, and just repeat the exact same thing. See what I'm doing there? So I'm just playing 2 on the A, I'm just playing 1 on the D, and 4 on the D. So this is what we got up to this point. Okay, just like that. Then what he does is he basically does an A power chord like that, lets that ring. Okay, and after he lets that ring, he basically comes back here and kind of does a palm muted kind of chuggy thing. And I think it's probably about 6 or 7 times he does that, so like so. Okay, so this is what we got up to that point. Okay, and then from there, what he's gonna do is, there's a few different things I've seen him do live for this, but the idea you hear on the album is this kind of thing. So basically what he's going to do here is kind of come up here and play a little bit of a C power chord. So we're going to be doing the 5th in the root, so it's kind of like an inverted power chord. And you're just going to play those 2 on the 5th fret at the D string and the G string, like that. So he plays that once. Kind of comes over back onto that A string and with a bit of a palm mute, plays that once, comes back and does the exact same thing he just did, plays the kind of inverted power chord once, comes back and plays the muted A string once. So all together, this little piece here, here's what we got. And then what he does after he's gotten to that point is he plays that power chord 2 times, like that, okay? So, all together, up to this point, here's what we got. Okay, now to finish this off, what he does, on the recording at least, is basically he's going to kind of grab back here on the 2nd fret of your G string, play that, and pull off to 0, okay? So you play that, just like that, and pull off. So it'll be kind of like this sort of thing. All right, and all he's doing here is play that once, pull off to 0, come up here and play the 2nd fret of the D string, and then kind of roll your finger back down onto the 2nd fret there of the G string. Okay, so we got. So basically, he rolls through that thing twice. So just go ahead and do that twice. Okay, now to end this, he just ends right there on that note, which is the 2nd fret, of course, of the G string, which also happens to be an A, and we're kind of thinking Mick is probably visualizing A Dorian or something for this, so that makes perfect sense. So all together up to that point, here's what we have. Okay, now what you probably did here was in the version I played, there's a kind of a pinch harmonic or a harmonic and a dive bomb. And that's exactly what he does live. So while you're doing this, when you finish that, on the basically on that A note right there on the 2, what he does live is he very gently takes his finger and just right over that that 3rd fret hits a natural harmonic and then dives. So if you got a whammy bar, you can do this too. All you got to do is find that harmonic and dive. So you could, be just like that. Okay. Oh, as an aside to the this piece, that thing. Every now and then Mick live, and you probably saw it in the version I played in the intro, does something a little bit different. Instead of playing the last double of that inverted C power chord, the piece there before he goes into that part, he won't play that chord at all. He'll do something like that. Basically, you do your inverted C power chord twice. And then for the last one, instead of playing that C power chord again, what you do is you just play one time that, which is the 5th fret of the D string, 4th fret of your G string. And you can think of that a little piece of G major, if you like, because you've got your G right there would be the major 3rd. Anyway, he doesn't do this always. I've seen him do it live once or twice. Sometimes he just does the regular one. Again, do what feels comfortable for you. I prefer the sound of this one over the studio recording myself personally, which is why you saw it in the intro. But altogether, this thing looks kind of like this if you use this alternating. That kind of thing. Anyway, see what works for you. Okay, so the entire solo together one time slowly. And of course you can add that if you want. Oh, the harmony part. That'll look and sound a little bit like this. So basically all I'm doing here is in that section where Mick starts climbing up, that thing. So when you hit the 3rd fret on the A string, that's when you start the harmony part. So basically what Mick is doing is he's doing this in thirds. We know that he's playing, obviously, this note here. The 3rd of that would be an E. I think Mick probably used a harmonizer pedal for this. Just seems like a bit of an awkward place to play it, but who knows? Anyway, you can definitely hear this on the recording. Anyway, so basically when you hear that note, you're going to start up here on the 3rd, which is an E, and we're going to be doing an E minor triad. So we're going to be doing basically just 7th on the A string. You're going to be doing the 5th fret here on your D string, and then you're going to be I'm using my pinky, and I'm grabbing up here on the 9th fret of the D string. So we got this. Right? Now what you want to do to carry on with this kind of idea is you're going to come up here and start off now on the F sharp, which is the 9th fret on your A string. So you play that once, come down here onto the 7th fret of your D string and you play that once, and then you're going to grab up here on the 10th fret of the D string. So we got this so far. Just like that. Now, the next piece of this, basically what Mick is going to do is he's going to do that kind of hammer-on thing like he did before. So I'm going to be playing down here on the D string on the 7th fret, play that once, and I'm going to hammer on immediately into the 9th fret, okay? So, like that, and then come back and play the 7th fret again. Okay, so we got this. Okay, and I'm just going to come up here and grab the 10th with my pinky on the A string. And just like you did with the last section, you got to repeat that kind of hammer-on thing twice. Just like that. Now you don't have to play it there. You could play it down there on the 5th fret of the D string if that's easier for you. Just see what makes the most ergonomic sense. Again, there's no videos of Mick doing this, but you can definitely hear that this part is happening. All right, so all together up to this point, here's what we got. Okay, now once you've done that, you can hear we start the chromatic descending piece that Mick plays. This is pretty neat. Basically what you're going to want to do is come back to that E, so 7th fret on the A string, play that once. Play the 5th fret on the D string once. Play the 9th fret on the D string once. So we got this just like that. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to be playing this note right here, which is the 6 on the A string. So you play that once. Come back here and play the 4th fret of your D string once, and then I'm going to use my pinky and grab right here, which is the 7th fret on your D string. So we've got this all together for that descending piece. Okay, that's the end of the harmony part. You can come down and play an A if you want to end it. I think that's what I did in the recording, but just do whatever you want there or just stop. So all together, here's that harmony piece. So there you have it, one red hot Mick Mars solo from the 80s. And once again, this is my version of the solo. This is a mix of live footage I've seen of Mick play this, as well as what I can hear on the album. So I thought, yep, we'll just put these together and give you guys a lesson. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you did learn anything from this, please make sure you hit like and subscribe and help my channel grow a little bit. Thanks. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys for now. So until next time, just keep on shredding, and we'll talk to you in another video. Bye for now.